PK in the universe here, and I am back again with another video. And today I'm here to talk about, as the title suggests, the Wii Mini. More specifically, the ultimate Wii Mini. What's so ultimate about this particular Wii Mini? We're going to get into that, but first, let's give a little bit of an introduction, talk about what the heck is the Wii Mini, because there's some people who are watching this video for me for the first time and don't know anything about the Wii Mini, so thought I'd give a quick little bits about it, so here we go. I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be thinking the Wii Mini must be some kind of, brand new mini console from Nintendo and they're trying to capitalize on people's nostalgia. Afraid not. I know, terrible joke, right? This was the third and final revision of the original Nintendo Wii. It came out on December 7th, 2012. A day which will live in infamy! It was exclusive to Canada for a hot minute and eventually came to Europe and finally the United States. Imagine you're a young kid living in Canada and you just found out that your parents got you that fancy new Wii system for Christmas that came out in November. And then you come to find out that's not what you got at all. Here in the States, we got a bundle that came with Mario Kart Wii, whereas our Canadian and European counterparts did not. So that sucks. Poor European and Canadian gamers really got hosed on that one. This retailed at $99.99, which to me makes no sense because literally you could walk into just about any pawn shop or thrift store and there'd probably be a Nintendo Wii there for like 50 bucks. Then again, you could also argue that, well, you're buying a brand new console and it would have warranty and stuff like that, and you could return it to the store if it didn't work. So I guess that is kind of an advantage, at least at the time, 10 years ago. I actually do remember seeing one of these at a retail store. I remember going into Meijer. If you guys don't know what Meijer is, it's a kind of a big box, super center type store, kind of like Walmart Light. Yeah, I remember actually going into a Meijer and seeing these in a retail store environment. I actually remember seeing them and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, this is cool, but I already have like 3 Wiis anyways. Why would I need this? So I do remember seeing these new at retail and thinking this just doesn't make any sense. I'd rather save up for a Wii U, and I think a lot of people felt that way. And some other people were probably like, I don't even want to save up for a Wii U. I'd rather save up for a PS4 or Xbox One, which we all knew were coming out a year later. Well, maybe not Xbox One because there was a lot of controversy about Xbox back in the day, but here nor there. So why not buy a Wii Mini? And the answer is because the Wii Mini sucks. I'll be honest with you guys. It's missing a lot of incredibly basic features that the original Wii and even Wii Family Edition had. For example, no component option. Yes, you can't play this in 480p. You're reduced to 360p through AV. No SD card slot, no reset button, no Wi-Fi, no Wii Shop channel. But then again, who cares about the Wii Shop channel because obviously it's closed in 2024 when I'm making this video. It only has 1 USB port instead of 2. I don't even know why they bothered with 1 USB if they weren't even gonna, have any kind of access to the internet. It doesn't make any sense. Not to mention there's of course no GameCube ports, no GameCube memory card, no way to play GameCube games at all. This thing was like the Wii Family Edition, but worse. I guess it's perfect for somebody who just wants to play Nintendo Wii games on maybe a CRT TV or an LCD TV, and nothing else. They just want to play Wii games, purely and purest simple Wii games. Or in my son's case, he wants to play Rampage Total Destruction on the Wii. It's funny, when I was writing the script for this video, a buddy of mine and I were talking about this video that I was working on, and he mentioned to me, did you know Scott the Woz just put out a video called Worst Console Redesigns? I'm like, oh yeah, Scott the Woz. I think he's got a few subscribers here and there. Yeah, I think I've heard of that guy. And he said you should, something about algorithm. I don't know what algorithm has to do with Scott the Woz. I have no idea. I don't know why somebody would talk about Scott the Woz. He also said I should title this video with Scott the Woz wrong about the Wii Mini. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that, but was Scott the Woz wrong about the Wii Mini? And the answer is no. This thing sucks, guys. In its stock native form, it sucks. This is no ordinary Wii Mini. I'm sure you guys are wondering, what is so special about this particular Wii Mini? This is not only a modded Wii Mini, but it's a hacked Wii Mini. Now, a lot of people say I hacked my Wii, which typically means they soft modded their console. In other words, they took an SD card and basically, used the letter bomb thing or whatever, and they put Homebrew on their console, but they didn't actually hack into it. This has been hacked into, okay? This is different than your average Wii Mini. Now, the Wii Mini, for the longest time, people said it was totally unhackable. And the reason they said this is because you couldn't use the letter bomb trick. Because the letter bomb deal required an SD card. It's like a Wii Mini does not have an SD card slot. And how people still put Homebrew on their Wii Mini is using the blue bomb trick, which was an earlier exploit of the Wii. But I don't want to go into huge detail about how to mod or hack your Wii Mini. There's a lot of other videos that would be great for this, and you guys should watch those videos because those videos would be so much more helpful than this one. I'm here to talk about this Wii Mini, how I got it, and why I got it, and what I'm going to do with it. But first, let's take a quick look at a stock Wii Mini right here. As you can see, this is the power button here. And as you can tell, there's nothing here, just nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, just one single USB, just stock. And you can take this one apart too, actually, because this is an extra one I have. As you can see, this is what it looks like. I have another one as well. I'll show you guys that real quick. This one's really been Frankensteined out here, as you can tell. There's a bunch of stuff. Here's a board of this real quick. Yep, neat, but I'll show some other clips of me looking at these particular ones. I saved those ones just for the purpose of this video. I'm actually going to donate them to the thrift store or something, or I don't know what I'll do with them. But here it is, the actual ultimate Wii Mini. And what's so ultimate about it? Here's the power button, of course. What do you got there? What do you got there, folks? That is a micro SD card, and that's a reset button. As you can see, I have a USB stick on the back, and this one in particular has Wi-Fi built into it. I'm obviously not going to take it apart to show you the Wi-Fi because that's a lot of extra work, and I'm sure people have shown pictures of it before in the past. But yeah, this is a modded Wii Mini. It's got built-in Wi-Fi, micro SD card, and a reset button, which is huge. You need a reset button a lot of times when you're dealing with Homebrew especially. Though this Wii Mini will not play GameCube games, you can actually play backups of GameCube games thanks to the Nintendo app on this. And you have to get it from your computer and put it on your SD card. That was something I thought, oh, maybe I could download it from the Homebrew store, but the Homebrew store does not have it, or I can't find it for whatever reason. I think it's also worth mentioning that on the Homebrew channel, there's actually an app called CleanRip, and CleanRip allows you to actually make backups of your Nintendo Wii and Nintendo GameCube games. Now, this thing is kind of wonky and a little bit unpredictable. Half of the time when I would put GameCube games in, they would not read at all. And then when they did finally read, and I actually got to like rip one of them, it would take absolutely forever. Like I did one and it took like 2 hours. And with some of the Wii games being as big as they are, it actually kind of rips into two things, and it's kind of wonky. I mean, I hate to say it, but you'd be better off to go get those games other places on the internet. I'm not going to provide links. And just to be clear about something, this is not a pro or anti-piracy video. Chances are pretty good you're an adult if you're watching this video, and you can make your own decisions about how you choose to spend your free time, and that's not for me to judge. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that. This is a video about a modded Wii Mini and what it can do and what I'm going to do with it. So yeah, this is a very versatile machine. This is a very unique Wii Mini. And I know nobody asked this, but how did I get this? And that's part of the story of this particular video. So what's the story? How the heck did I get this thing? I'll level with you guys. I don't have any soldering skills of any kind. I will totally level with you about that. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. But a buddy of mine, Super Nintendo, we were discussing the Wii Mini, and he knew I had a Wii Mini. And there was this post on Twitter from this guy, WebHDX. WebHDX makes parts for like GameCube and Wii stuff to like mod your GameCube and Wii. And he's got a Tindy store. I will leave a link in the description below. And Nick had said to me, hey man, if you buy some of these parts, I'll mod your Wii Mini for you. And I'm like, okay. And he had never modded one before, but he had some experience soldering, so he thought he might be up to the job. Unfortunately, this was way more than Nick bargained for. And he thought about maybe having a friend of his do it. And he talked to that friend, and his friend was like, dude, this is beyond my skills too. So Nick ended up sending the Wii Mini to a modder in California, and the modder's name is Modsville USA. I will leave a link to their Twitter feed, and you guys can figure out where to find them if you want to have Modsville USA do any work for you. Yeah, this situation had been going on for like a year. I am just absolutely shocked that Nick didn't just give me my money back after he messed up the first one, honestly. He tried 2 times to get this to work and it just wouldn't work, you know? And that just tells you what a good friend Nick is and how dedicated he was to getting this done. And I am super grateful and I greatly appreciate it. And of course, shout out to WebHDX and Modsville. Without them, this would never have come together. So super appreciative to everybody who was involved, who helped get this for me. I always thought it would be so cool to mod a Wii Mini, especially since the Wii Mini was known to be unhackable, you know, and now it's become a reality, and then this makes it a lot easier. But I'll tell you what, after watching everything that happened with that, I would never want to do this myself. So by making this video, I hope people realize that this is a lot of work, okay? You have to have some very fine soldering skills. So maybe if you're somebody with great soldering skills, this might be like, oh man, that's right up my alley, I want to do that. Or if you're somebody with maybe average soldering skills or who's just starting out, maybe this isn't the project for you. So I hope I've informed people in this regard. So I bet you guys might still be wondering, why in the world did I even want this to begin with? I want this for its original intended purpose. This is the perfect console for a child or a brand new gamer. I'm going to be giving this to my son. And I know what some of you guys are thinking. Why not just give him an NES Classic or a PS1 Classic? I already have those systems and they're very easy to soft mod. I actually made a video a few years back actually about the NES Classic when my son was like about 3 years old. And and talked about games that would be great to go on that. But honestly, you know, it's like he doesn't really play that. It's a pain in the butt. And he wants to play so much more than NES games. He plays PS4, he plays Nintendo Switch, he plays Evercade, he plays a whole bunch of stuff. So I thought it'd be great if he had a system that he could call his own, that had a lot of versatility to it. And that's what I really like about it, is the versatility. It can play Wii games. It can obviously play backups of GameCube games, especially I have some GameCube games that are kind of expensive, and I really don't want to put a lot of wear and tear on them. And this console solves that. Plus, I like the fact that there is no wired controller option, which, yes, I know the Wii family has that too, and I don't really want to buy Wavebirds, to be honest. I like that I can just plug in a fighter pad or something into the Wiimote, and he can play like Legend of Zelda, Four Swords Adventures. He really likes that game. That game's kind of expensive now, so it'd be great to not put so much wear and tear on it. Plus, he's got a 2-year-old sister. And the thing about 2-year-old kids is they love to grab a wired controller and yank the whole system down. This solves that problem. I did decide to keep it AV, honestly, because I was like, you know what, going to the trouble of, you know, getting component option, I was like, it's not that necessary. It doesn't make it look that significantly better. It's not like this huge, big leap like I think a lot of people think it is, you know, especially depending on the size of the TV you're using. So I just really love the versatility of it because I can plug this into every TV in the house. Even my 4K TV has AV out. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a great option. As you guys know from a lot of my other videos, I'm a huge fan of compilations and greatest hits, you know, collections of games brought together. It's nice when a company curates a collection for you, but there's something to be said about curating a collection for yourself or even someone else. For example, my son. So what I'm going to do with this particular Wii Mini is I'm going to put games I have physical copies of, such as from the SNES, NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and GameCube. Those are the games I'm going to put on it. And they're going to be all games that I physically already own. I think that's the way to go because I don't want to give him super huge, overwhelming choice. I don't want to buy him one of those, what's that console that's got 40,000 games on it or something that's like $100. I don't really want to do that. He doesn't need that many games. And I think a lot of games don't necessarily need to be played on original hardware, with the exception of the N64. But I think, you know, there's some games that it doesn't really matter if you're playing them on original hardware or not, especially like classic RPGs on the SNES, which I do have a nice variety of those. And I think a lot of those would be really great for him to play because he does really like RPGs, especially turn-based ones, surprisingly enough. You know, you wouldn't expect a 7-year-old to like turn-based RPGs, but he's a really good reader and he likes to read. He also says that I owe him apparently 25% for all the revenue of this video since I'm using him in the video. I don't know what he's learning at that school, but I think there's a lot of games on the SNES, NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance that you don't necessarily need to experience on OG hardware. You know, that hardware has a lifespan, is going to wear out eventually. Having a great convenient way where you can play all those is fantastic. The other thing too is my son already likes to play Wii games, so this is perfect for him. honestly. I think it's perfect because he loves to play OG Wii games, as well as Wii U, but we have that system too. And yeah, I'll be real with you guys. Should you buy a Wii Mini to soft mod it or hack it? And the answer is no. 99.999% of people really do not need this. At the end of the day, what I like most about it is the aesthetic. And there is one childproof advantage of this thing. What I love so much about this is it's a top-loading system. I can't tell you how many times I've ejected a disc from my PS4 just because I was afraid one of my kids was going to stick another disc in there so there'd be 2 discs stuck in there. You don't have to worry about that with a Wii Mini. It's pretty childproof, honestly. And it's small and convenient and still surprisingly durable, honestly, for what it is. I think the aesthetic and the fact that it's a top loader are the top reasons to buy it. But having this thing hacked is quite the endeavor and something you shouldn't take lightly. And it's something, you know, I probably wouldn't recommend most people do. So my final thoughts on this are, yes, it can be done. A Wii Mini can be hacked and modded, but should most people do this? The answer is no. This is something that requires a really specific set of skills. And I mean, this can be modded other ways, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to do it. You can actually still mod it without having it hacked. And people have done that too, but it's a lot of extra work. And this kind of simplifies that. And that's what I really like about it. At the end of the day, the thing that intrigues me most about it is the aesthetic and the fact that it's a top loader, period. That's what makes it what it is. It's a unique piece of hardware. Not many people will be able to say they have a hacked Wii Mini. Anyways, what are your thoughts? Do you have a Wii Mini? And would you ever actually consider going to the trouble of hacking it? Comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.